We are set to be live.
Fuck
We are.
everybody. I'm joking. I'm joking.
We good.
Yo, so
Let's make sure this is good.
welcome. We're doing a oh shit. Almost lost my whole joint. Um, we
Yeah.
are doing this as a kind of like a courtesy to you guys. All right. For yesterday's pod that we were on, that Reaper conducted pretty much by himself.
Yep.
You know, I think the pod, it was a good pod. It was a controversial one. But unfortunately, a controversial pod or a negative pod, right?
Right.
Full of shit that was said and disrespectful things earn you a lot more views and things of that nature. To the point where I had to come back in and check him on that because that's not what we're about here. You can have disagreements, you can have arguments with people and have it on a very respectful level of things. You know what I'm saying? Uh, where Cam couldn't do that to a certain extent. And he felt a way because Reaper went ahead and brought in Two Wheel Monster to defend himself, which is the cases, which is what, if we're going to do this again, that's what it's going to be, bro. Just to let all you guys know. If we have someone that has issues with people or a person, understand that whatever you say, you got to stand on that. Period. So if you're on here, we're going to bring the person that you have an issue with on here, and both of you guys have to stand on that. And if you can't stand on that, then that's on you guys. You know what I'm saying? We are not going to sit here and just have you get on a platform and dictate how the platform is going to go. Because at the end of the day, this is Reap and Street Cartel, however you want to put it. You know what I'm saying? We're not going to sit here and just have someone come on here and straight disrespect people on a man level. You know what I'm saying? You can have constructive conversations, you know what I'm saying, and agree to disagree at the end of it.
Yeah.
What we're not going to do is have you over here disrespecting people on a personal level on some man shit, because you're going to come across the wrong person in real life, and then what are you going to do?
I know. Hey.
That's just
no, bro, because like
so go ahead, Dame, Super H2. What you got for me?
Oh yeah, Super, yeah. Why he's doing his question. So
no,
okay.
that's not. So all right, to get that correct, right? If you are making, let's say he's tuned on pump gas, right? So why wouldn't you race him on pump gas as well? So both of you guys race on pump gas, not one on race gas and one on pump. Both of you guys race on pump gas because that narrows the margin of how much power you make over him, as opposed to the margin of you being on race gas and him being on pump, or vice versa. Do you get what I'm saying?
Hey,
you're right. That's his problem. That's his problem. But if you want to make it a fair race, I feel, and you really want to race somebody, I feel like that would be a fair race. You know what I'm saying? So even if he's 50 pounds lighter than you and you got a jockey, so now both you guys have jockeys, and he's on pump gas and you're on race fuel. What good is that? You're gonna win either way, right? Because you're probably gonna make anywhere from 50 to 100 or whatever the case may be more horsepower than him. Do you understand what I'm saying? It's not a size thing. It's if you're gonna level the playing field, so Cam can shut the fuck up and you won't have anything to say as well. You get what I'm saying?
I feel like in that situation, Cameron probably needs to Because like if I was in Damon's shoes, I would feel like, yeah, I can race him on pump gas, but he probably needs to. But that's like if you had, remember you had your Nitro CBR and somebody wanted to race
Yeah,
you. Are you going to take your bottle off? No.
I
Need
will.
to.
I see.
I
I
mean, I know
will.
you would, but they need to. Hey, bro, like they need to get nitrous and then, you know what I'm
Well,
saying, race you on spray.
yes. So it's either one way or the other, right? It's at the end of the day, it's what both guys are. Okay, you built your bike to win. Cool. Then don't race. Then there's no conversation. If he's not willing to build his bike to your grade and to be able to race on race fuel and all that, then there's no conversation, Damon. It's very simple. You know what I'm saying? So there shouldn't even be an argument here. There shouldn't be a conversation because he's not on your level. You understand what I'm saying?
Well, I think that's not going to happen just because the race game is like who has the fastest this, that, and the other. So like they're just gonna want to race. You know what I'm saying? I don't
Because
think
there's a
that.
lot of guys like, shout out to Chase, shout out to Brett, shout out to oh, I forgot his name right now, man. Tuna Garage, what's his name? Ralph. All these guys build their bikes and they're not 100% sure about but they know they're in the same league, they're in the same playing field. You know what I'm saying? So they're comfortable to a certain degree racing each other. You know what I'm saying? So if you build a bike or if you have a bike that you tuned on pump, you should be racing H2s on pump and not calling out people that are racing on fuel. You know what I mean? Like there's no sense in that. So if Super H2 does not want to come down to 93 pump a map, then he doesn't have to. He's not on his level. It's very simple.
I think that if see, so the problem with that is because they're going back and well, not back and forth, but they're disagreeing. Then technically, if you look at it, Cam shouldn't be talking trash to Super about racing if he knows that he's only on pump and Super might be on whatever fuel he's on. You know what I mean?
End the story.
You
That should have
know.
been the end of that story. I don't know. So once again, right? Like I told you, I didn't know Cam before this. I didn't know anything about him as far as all this controversy that he has going on. That should have
Oh,
been the end of that story. Super H2 should not even entertain this.
well,
If he's on a different level, he should not entertain this.
I think it's funny. I end up speaking to
Exactly. Mustang Dame said it, plain and
what did he
simple.
say? Don't challenge
Don't
people out your
challenge people
league.
out of your league, bro. And if you want to shoot up, then you're shooting up to gauge where you need to be at.
Right,
You know what I'm
right.
saying? So that means you just have to face it for whatever it's gonna be.
All right. So now that we got all of that out of the way, and we can come back to that, we're going to address the elephant in the room, or at least I will. Earlier today, I got on IG just because I think I was a little agitated or annoyed with the amount of backlash I'm getting from having Cameron on the podcast. Now, I know some of you said most of you didn't want or advised me not to put him on here, but I want the masses to understand why I did it, and then we can leave it at that. I did it because I believe that the community should have some form of fairness within it. And what I mean by that is, while Cameron is not the most liked guy, he's rude. He talk and like Cartel said, he talks to people like you know what I mean, like he shouldn't be talking to them. But um, and I'm gonna just say it. I'm gonna be blunt. So EJR has a podcast. Everybody fucking knows that. And I have nothing against EJR, Evan and or Adam. I have no issues with this. My issue, not with them, but with the podcast is directly or indirectly, they said some things about Cameron, and Cameron was not available to defend himself. And so when I sat there and I spoke to Cartel about this, that was one of the main reasons why I wanted Cameron on, is because he was never given an opportunity to defend himself. Now, ironically, Cameron got kind of upset that I put Two Wheel on. Well, why did I add Two Wheel? I added Two Wheel because Cameron was going on and on and on about certain individuals, but Two Will was there. Two Will wasn't able to defend himself, but guess what? He was in the chat, so I added him in so he could defend himself. Because I believe as men, right, Cartel, as men, you address things one on one. Now,
yeah, straight up. So
I'll say, well, and before, like, I'll say this, like, I've had an issue. I was tight with this guy, man, and I don't know if you know him, Cartel, but I was tight with this guy, Envy Racing, Kenneth. That's like me and him was cool as shit, right?
mm-hmm.
And so one day he caught me at the wrong time, and like I got mad. I said some not so nice things, you know what I mean, on Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
And that kind of like, you know what I mean, when I look back upon it, like it's kind of fucked up. And I kind of owe him an apology. You know what I mean? But at the same time, make no mistake, if I felt some type of way, I'm not going to sit behind this keyboard and type all of this shit and then not be able to dress, you know, Kenneth or anybody else I have an issue with man to man. You know, and I feel like the community, you know what I mean? The community has a problem with that because
a lack thereof that.
Bro, everybody hides behind this keyboard, but then as soon as you meet somebody in person, there's either crickets or there's nothing. You know what I mean? I wholeheartedly believe keep that shit at racing and racing alone. And if you ain't about that life,
why
hey,
you
fuck
here?
that. Why like
what
are you doing right now? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so with Cameron, I told Cameron earlier, and I'm not going to go into the details. I'll like to have him on again. You know what I mean? And many people, and I told him he needs to watch how he talks to people, you know. Maybe that's some way that maybe that's where he comes from. But for me, I just can't have people going back and forth. This podcast is for people, anybody and everybody to have a voice. And that's all I'm trying to say. So if the masses don't appreciate the fact that Cameron was on here, I apologize, but like that's the way it is. That's how it is.
So
what's super? Call him now. Let's go. Hey, if you want him on here, he actually shouted out to you and said that y'all may not get along, but y'all have conversated on the phone plenty of times. But for whatever reason, he can do that with you, but he just dislikes Two Will.
So let me talk to Moto Rich, right? It's not about controlling the conversation. It's about being a man, right? And understanding who you're talking to and respecting everybody equally, which Cam did not do yesterday. And Evan, EJR reached out to me and he gave me, you know, and I shared with Reaper what he said to me. And, you know, I don't disagree with what he said, you know, because maybe there was a lot of misinformation on there. And I think there was a lot of what Cam said that came from a place of not having a lot of knowledge, and being upset because maybe he felt like he wasn't equal in a race that he chose to race in. Right. And if you're part of a race that you don't feel you're equal to, you shouldn't be a part of it. You know what I'm saying? Point blank, period. So like I told Evan, you know, from now on, me and Reap are going to move accordingly, where if we're going to have someone on that is someone that is
controversial,
a controversial character in the game.
Yeah.
We trust and believe from the beginning of the podcast, whoever it is that he has an issue with is going to be on the pod to be able to defend themselves respectfully.
Right.
We're not doing the super disrespectful shit on how much money you have or don't have, or fuck you here, fuck you there, this and that. We're not going to do that, because if you're talking like that, either you're lacking the
vocabulary.
You're either lacking the vocabulary or the knowledge to fucking to be on here. You know what I'm saying? And we're not going to do that. I don't want last night's podcast to put us in a light where this is what it's going to be, because me and Reap did not start this off the strength of that type of shit.
Now, make no mistake.
We want to give people a platform to either settle your differences, race, or shut the fuck up, bro. It's very simple. If you can't find a balance or a level playing field to be able to come to an agreement, then you shouldn't. It needs to stop, bro. You know what I'm saying? Because if you can't, for example, right, when Two Wheel came on, Cam's whole hit everything changed. You know what I'm saying? His whole demeanor changed, as opposed to the 3 hours earlier that he had. That's not right. You should
Well,
keep
I
the same.
mean,
You should
I
keep the same energy.
I don't I don't know, man. Like if Cam doesn't like Two Will, and me and Cartel kind of like we agree, but we agree to disagree on this, right? So like if someone comes on, like I have a problem with fucking Super, I guess. Not trying to get the channel shut down, but like you're probably gonna say some unchoice words like to each other. That's just the name of the game. In the grudge racing or racing, any competitive sport, that's what happens. Like, but personal attacks, family, whatever, whatnot, like that's I remember I saw Cameron and Mustang going on and on in IG about, I think Cameron said something about a daughter or something like that. Type of shit is not gonna fly, but as far as like someone having a voice where someone is gonna talk man to man on this platform, I'm all for it. I'm all for it because that's how I talk when I get upset, honestly. But the personal attack stuff, um that's my idea of personal attack stuff. When you start bringing in people's wives and families, like that's whatever. But the Call of Duty stuff where you tell somebody to, like that's normal. Any sport, that's normal. That's how I feel about it.
Well, Reaper comes from the gamer like Call of Duty life.
You know what I mean? Like
I
I'm not a
don't.
gamer, but I'm just saying.
You be gaming, motherfucker. Because look at that back room. That back
Hey,
room was like a gamer's room. Get out of
hey,
here,
I'm not a
bro.
gamer, but yo,
I,
like
I
that's what I'm
don't.
saying.
I don't game. So to me, a lot of that shit, man, is uncalled for. As far as that's why I jumped back on last night. I didn't want to, bro, but he was going extra to the point where I felt away. You know what I'm saying? Like I didn't like feeling away. I shouldn't feel a fucking way about a podcast that my boy that podcast with me is controlling. Like I shouldn't have to feel that way where he's just going the extra mile because what happens, right? He says everything. Cam says everything that he says to someone's face. First of all, is he going to have the balls to say this to someone's face, right? And second, is he willing to deal with the repercussions of saying that to someone's face?
Well, hold on, right? Because I feel as if everything seems to be directed at Cam right now, because Cam looks like the villain, right?
It's
But
not
hold
so much
on,
him being a villain. For
but
me, it was his words. It was his words, bro. His words. Words hold a lot of weight.
right.
If you would have, he could have said everything that he wanted to say in a articulate way.
Well, hold on, and I agree with that. However, and I'm not putting anybody down by saying this. Perhaps though, I don't know, but maybe he doesn't have the ability to do it. Maybe where he's from, like that's just the way that they talk.
And you know what, bro?
I
So should
mean,
we? So should we? Right, exactly what Moto Rich said right now, bro.
what he
Right.
said.
So
Oh, okay.
we should take somewhat part in that and bring someone like that into our pod, not knowing what their capability is and how they can articulate themselves, right? Because at the end of the day,
Mm-hmm.
whoever we have on here is a direct. It reflects us directly. You feel what I'm saying?
I do, and I while I agree with that. Okay, so Cameron is not the most liked. I got it, but I only really wanted him on here, right, because of his inability to be able to defend himself. That's it, right?
Okay.
I don't want to be demonetized and all of that other stuff, and but I feel like so I had, like I said, I had a good conversation with him and Super earlier today on the phone. And Cameron is really, and I don't know if it's like one of those things where because he lifts weights or whatever, like he has to like put on a facade to act like he's like brolic. You know what I mean? I don't know. But the guy that I talked to on the phone is nowhere near like what you saw last night. As a
That's a
matter of
problem.
fact, but I mean that's the average. That's the average individual too. The average person out here is not like what they perceive. Like they act like on social media. They're just
I mean,
not.
yeah, that's in
You know
social
what I
media
mean?
in general. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and I want to tell the masses that like I get a chance to see the side of Cam that most people don't or won't see. Don't know why. I don't know. You know, but I did tell him, you know, and I'm not going to make this all about Cameron because see, everybody's so focused on Cameron, but so Two Wheel has his skeletons in the closet as well. You know, he really does. Uh, but anyways, that's neither here nor there. I just don't want everybody to be so focused on that. You know, again, the genesis of why I invited him on this is because he was attacked directly or indirectly on another podcast. And for me, I feel like that's unfair. And if anybody in the chat, Moto Rich, Boosted, Super, hell, I saw Envy on here as well. If a Mustang, if anybody attacks one of y'all
He was pretty
somewhere else,
last night. Yeah.
you know what I mean? It's not fair. Now, hey, Moto Rich, I know Two Wheel was pretty respectful. And the reason why he was respectful, I look at that as two ways. The first reason being he was warned that if he overtalks, he's going to get kicked off because he did it on the previous podcast. The second reason why he was like that is because it's easy when somebody's already a villain to come in and act like you're the goody guy. You're the good guy. You know what I mean? It's very easy to do that. I bet you if the roles were reversed and Two Wheel was on here while Cam was in the chat, I can guarantee you, based upon go back and look at EJR's podcast and look at in Two Wheel. He does a lot of things for clout. You know what I mean? So he's not totally that guy that hasn't done anything per se.
Yeah.
You know? He has his skeletons in the closet too. It's just we're hyper focused on Cam because Cam is the blunt guy that says whatever he thinks without thinking before he speaks. You know what I mean? And then the other thing is too, Cartel, myself, a lot of the guys that I see in the chat, we're a little bit older, so we know that your words can get you fucked up. We know this. You know what I mean? Like we know this. We don't do all the fucking typing, like you know what I mean. And me and Cartel talked about that.
Yeah.
That's all that back and forth. Like no, like we're older, so we know we pull up on you before we do all of this back and forth.
Yeah, man. You know, so it's a different. So clout and all that doesn't really mean anything. Like
Boosted, we older, bro. Like we older.
You know,
we older.
I'm about fucking 40 out here. I know I look luxurious, but you know, I'm about.
Hey,
to
we see the gray
40.
in the beard, bro. You sprinkle.
That's foul, bro. See, so now I'm gonna come back with no grays in my fucking beard. So you don't. You ain't got no beard to even be talking, bro.
Bro, I tried to grow it. I got tired of looking like Anthony Hamilton. I was like, fuck that. I have patches and shit. I was like, fuck that, man.
You got you know, I'm sorry for you, bro. I'm sorry.
He said he could talk to somebody. You look, yeah. And so Motor Rich, that's what I'm saying. So I didn't want to. So the other thing is, let me address this. So I didn't do that for views. I didn't do it for views. I did it because I wanted some man-to-man talk, and I wanted them to hopefully squash their beef. That's why I did it. But it didn't work out that way. So I apologize if I tried to make the race community squash a little beef. Sorry, I tried.
That's gonna be a tough thing to do, because unless, like, for example, right, like I said earlier, right, Super, why, you know, if Super has a great point, he didn't spend all this money on his bike to detune his bike or put a different map. The man probably doesn't even have a 93 map on his bike, bro. You know what I'm saying? So if he doesn't have, so why pay the extra money or whatever, right, to race somebody for, you know, however much, you know, that would be between them, but to make it more of a fair race. If you are not on someone's level, that's a personal conversation, first of all, right? Like, yo,
right.
Listen, I'm tuned on 93. Can you race me on 93? If you can't race me on 93, all right, bet. Keep it fucking pushing, bro. To someone that will race you on 93.
I think that's because, so like, for instance, if I wanted, well, I've raced Super H2 and he beat the hell out of me. But if I show up to some type of event and I want to race somebody out of chat, but let's use Super. So I want to race Super. I'm not gonna ask him to detune his bike or do whatever, right? I'm gonna just want to race him. You know what I mean?
So, well, first of
But
all, you ain't gonna race
where,
that man for no $10,000.
no, but where I'm
You
getting,
get what I'm saying?
right? But where I'm getting at is, even if I wanted to race you, but I'm using Super H2. If I want to race Super, right, and I want to just race him, me and Super's relationship is not like him and Cam's. You see what I mean? So it's a difference. He might be willing to just like me. If I had a problem with fucking Super and Super wanted to race me, nah, bro, you getting jet fuel and nitrous and the atomic bomb all in one motor. You see what I mean? Like, there's the difference.
Yeah.
There's the difference between if you like somebody and you get along with someone versus the animosity that's been built up. And I don't even know where it comes from. Why does everybody hate Cam? As a matter of fact, in the chat, like, why does everybody hate Cameron? Because
I mean, that was evident on just how he conducts himself yesterday, bro. Like he conducts himself terribly. Like,
but my question to you, Cartel, is, are they hating what he's saying, right? Or did he do something directly to them? Like, what did he do to them? Because words are words, but what did he do to them?
I think it's a multitude of things, bro, with him. I think that from what I took from him, right? First of all, I think he has a bad taste in his mouth by losing to people that he just didn't do his homework on, right? Like, so if you're, which honestly, man, like, for example, myself, right? Do I have a knowledge on bikes? I do, but I have a way more knowledge on cars and motors.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, but race motors and how you build a car and how you put together a bike, there's a lot of similarities, man. Once you put two and two together, so on and so forth, you should walk in, right? Because in 6 months and 7 months that I've been doing this, I learned a lot real fucking fast, man. And it was due to the fucking knowledge I had prior to from building motors and stuff like that for cars, right? How you set up a car, how you set up an all-motor car versus a turbo car. You know what I'm saying? So you can't call out certain people, man, and expect and not do your fucking homework. Do your homework. I feel like a lot of the things that Cam was talking about, he was talking like someone that didn't do his homework, man. You know, and that's, you can't do that in this sport, bro.
I don't know. I think that it's very difficult to do your homework, right? Because you never really know. But Mustang Dame hit the nail on the head. So, like, I remember, for the most part, racing, like, you never really asked anybody like what the fuck they had. You just kind of sort of, I want to race Cartel, so you know what I mean? Hope I brought enough to the race. And if you lose, you go back and then you get back in the game. Like,
a couple hundred, I understand that. But if you're racing for thousands of dollars, bro, that's not
but this wasn't even money. This is not even money races, though. You know what I mean?
I get it. So you can't be mad, bro. You can't fucking be mad. If you get fucking your boots fucking smoked, right? On a free race, take that shit for what it is, bro. Now you know. Okay, well, fucking, that's like me racing fucking terrorists, right? Terrorist leaves me by fucking 10, 20 bikes. I can't even see that man no more. Or vice versa, then there's a fucking problem. I'm gonna get with him and be like, all right, well, that was pointless, but at least I know that I need to set my shit up.
I'll tell you, like, as far as, running for money and all of this other stuff, like, I just love motorcycles, right? But at the same time, like I said, I'm gonna go back to what Mustang Dame said. So, it used to be, race what you got, run what you brung, hope you brought enough type stuff.
Yeah.
The new right now though, it's like I don't know what's going on. It's not like that anymore. You know, you pull up to the dance and like, you know, you're supposed to race somebody and they got a bottle sitting there. Well, I don't know. Bottles are free. Like, oh, I want you to take your bottle off. Why aren't you? Why you know why you got pump gas? You want everybody to detune their bike because you haven't spent the money or done the homework to have your bike at their level. Like that's not a thing. You know what I mean? I know for me, at the drama I'm going through with my projects, and you know what it is, cartel. Like, ain't no fucking way I'm anything in for my bike just to race somebody. You know how hard it was to get it put on? You know? I think the other thing, so Emmy said, hey, so he has had conversations with Cam, I'm assuming offline or in person. And definitely like this man is like, he's a little bit different offline versus maybe it's the social media thing, maybe it's camera, or maybe he just talks like that when he gets upset. Maybe it's that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I just wanted the masses to know, like, even though he's rough around the edges, he's not. He can be an asshole, yes, but he's not as bad as what was portrayed last night. That's all I'm saying. Like he was rough, but he's not that rough. And if somebody dislikes some of the things that he said, well, guess what? I can almost guarantee you, if you was on a podcast or put in an environment where you was with someone that you dislike, you probably would have the same choice words. It might be even worse. So that's all it is. So don't get fixated on that. Yeah, motor work, all that same stuff. I got to go to the next minute. Sorry. Hey, Mustang. I agree. And Super, yeah, like, well, now, okay, so like, I wouldn't necessarily call that a race because that wasn't a race. The Super H2, that was not a like, David, that wasn't a race. That was me attempting, and I think you gave me like at least several bikes in the hit, and it didn't work out in my favor. So,
Yo, Flock, man, listen, you missed a 4-hour pod. It was a lot, bro. You know what I'm saying? When I call you, why are you still on, bro? You work, so why are you still on? But anyway, if I don't talk to you today, I'll talk to you tomorrow because I want to talk to you about other things on a different subject. But
Super,
go ahead,
I
Grim.
Hey, I definitely understand. So Super H2 is saying that if they're not cool, you got to pay. I can totally understand that, you know. Um, but at the same time, if you challenge someone, if you don't have I mean, you can try. I mean, if it's for fun, you can try. But see, the problem is, you know, if we're still stuck on Cameron and Super have been going back and forth so long, like they're not cool. So they got to race for this magical amount of money. Who has that amount of money to be racing for, bro? $100, $500, $1,000. That's crazy.
Hey, man, listen. Don't say that because me and you both do. You know, sell some of that titanium shit, bro. You know what I'm saying? Fuck out of here. I
Nah,
don't want to hear that
bro.
bullshit.
Well, you know you know where I'm getting at. You know where I'm getting at. And like,
You changed my name, Reed, by the way.
I
You changed
did.
my name.
Yeah, that Mr. Brown stuff, bro. Like, I had to change it, bro. Like, when you popped up as Mr. Brown, I was like, bro, how do I change it? Because he's not gonna change it.
Yo, no one else said anything about my name but you, bro. I don't know why.
I
You know
got
what I'm
tired of
saying?
Mr. Brown. Like, you don't even look like a Mr. Brown. What
Listen,
is
first
Super
of all, that's
Games
my
at Racing
OnlyFans
Phantom?
name. So let's relax.
Motor Rich. So I'd assume what Super Games is some type of self gratification that he beat his enemy and or foe. I don't know. You know what I mean? But I mean, it's racing. It's a, you know, if you want to call this a sport, there's a winner, there's a loser. So if he wins, well, I know it feels good when I win a race, which I rarely win a race. But if I do win a race, it'll feel good. He says there's no benefit. I mean, realistically, there probably isn't. But I mean, where is the benefit when you race anyone for that matter? Unless it's for thousands of dollars, what do you get?
You get no notoriety, bro. No, OnlyFans selling feet pics to make. Hey, first of all, my feet, my feet are very nice. All right, I take care of myself. All right, I maintain myself very well, Flacco. Just so you know, not that it's any of your fucking business because you ain't looking at my feet, but since you're putting that out there,
I honestly though, like for me, knowing at least both bikes, um, outside of the red bike that Cam mentioned, I don't know another H2, at least that I've seen, that is on the level of Super H outside of maybe Envy. Because Envy has an H2 with fucking GP text on it. And I'm just going to assume if they're within the same camp, then his shit is probably just as fast. So I'm just
who Envy
Envy
is
Racing.
Envy?
I'll Envy Racing. I'll send you a link to his channel.
Okay.
Tunes. I think he built his own motor recently. Smart dude. And got a lot of bikes too. Everybody always getting on me about a lot of bikes. Bruh, there's people. They got a lot of bikes.
First of all, right?
They got a lot of bikes too.
Yo,
Dang, like I'm not the only one.
Nothing,
like, come on.
Not for nothing, bro. Like Super shouldn't be fighting anybody. Okay? Super is about to be retired from life. So
I didn't know that Cameron threatened Super.
Yeah, he needs to relax because what happens, right? Like, so Super, so then he threatens Super, right? So this is the shit that I'm talking about, right? So he says all this, and then Super's old, right? So then what happens if Super brings someone, let's say right around the age of Cam, right? And then what is Cam gonna do if he's not really about that life?
Well,
it's a lot of like, this is what I'm saying about getting personal and talking about I'm gonna beat your ass and slap the shit out of you or suck my dick or this and that. Like none of that shit is needed anywhere here, bro. Because at the end of the day, right?
But so I honestly though I disagree. Just because I disagree only because like okay, obviously I'm not overly upset. You know what I'm saying? But if I got upset and I had my enemy or foe right on even on this platform, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna say some shit that I wouldn't normally say. You know what I'm saying? Like I am. I'm gonna get upset and I'm gonna say whatever it is that comes to mind. That's just like freedom of speech and all of that. I'm not saying like it's an attack. If I tell somebody to suck my D or whatever, whatnot, I'm attacking them, but I'm not attacking them. It's just verbal feelings of how I feel at that time. Basically, kiss my ass. You know what I'm saying? So that
I don't
everybody does that though. Everybody does that.
No,
they do.
Maybe in 2024, you're right. But let me tell you something. If I was to fucking say that to any of my elders, right, that I grew up with and I built with and I grew a relationship with, and I told them, yo, you know what? Fuck you. Suck my dick. They're slapping the dog shit out of me. You know what I'm saying? So I came from a different time. Where you don't disrespect another man that way.
Well, I can tell you this. Regardless of where we all came from different like backgrounds and such, but I can almost guarantee you the vast majority of this chat, at some way, shape, or form, even to date, has told somebody what you just said when they're upset. As a matter of fact, yeah.
Flock, we fighting, bro. We fighting. There's a lot of different ways we can go. But either I know from listen, and I'm speaking for myself. If I said that to any of my guys when I was growing up, either slapping the shit out of me or they're shooting me in my leg so I can understand the severity of how they feel about that. But now I'm old. This is 2024, and I understand that things are a lot different. You know what I'm saying? But things are a lot different until you meet someone face to face, and they don't feel like it's 2024. They feel like it's 2005.
No, I
You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah, for real. Like I agree with that, you know, and that's what I told Cam that, you know, and the other thing is, let's say that for whatever reason, Cam is upset because we're using him. He's the villain right now. So Cam is upset with Super or Two Wheel or whomever, bruh. That doesn't necessarily mean that he has an issue with Super because a lot of the community has clicks. You see what I mean? So even if Super says and blows that shit off, who knows that Mustang Dame or somebody else over there standing in the corner might haul off and slap him or something, you know? So like to me, I just told him like he just has to be cognizant of all of this trash talk and all of this aggressiveness. Like you just gotta be careful, man. And somebody lost their life over some nonsense in the community. And that was and dude was good. You know what I mean?
So
How you
for
supposed
better
to
book,
race
for
a
your
camera?
first part of your question, right? Um, if you won't leave Charlotte, but he's willing to race for 20K. If I had a bike that I knew I was confident in, right, and I could race anywhere and I would be able to adapt anywhere, I would be going
Uh-huh.
to Charlotte for 20K. You know what I'm saying? And then there's no $100. I don't want to hear about no $100 talk. If I DM you and I say
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go to Charlotte on
Mm-hmm.
your home turf and we're gonna
Mm-hmm.
race for 20K on
Uh-huh.
Saturday, I don't give a flying fuck if I'm there on Monday, testing and tuning, whatever the fuck the case it is. Come
Right.
Saturday, we're racing for 20K. You
Mm.
get what I mean?
Right.
So I can't speak for him, but that would be my perspective on that. And
I
if I
think
can't get my bike dialed in by fucking Saturday, that's my problem.
so. I think that anytime there's an argument, right? Someone always brings up money. I don't know why that is, but like there's either fighting, money, or some other way to like put someone down, right? I don't know the man's finances, so I don't know whether he has 20K or he doesn't. But that doesn't detract away from if he has it or not. Maybe he has 20K, but he says $100 or less. I think that's what he said. And he's just basically trying to tell Artie that he has 20K and Artie is fucking broke or something. I don't know. I don't even know why that was brought up because I agree. Cartel like that. Now that I agree on. The money
So
thing
so
is,
let me so let me
you know what I
let me
mean?
ask you this, Reap, right?
Yeah.
So, and this is something that terrorists brought up, I thought it was very interesting. To some capacity, I felt like he brought something like this up, right?
Yeah.
He's got his H2, okay,
Uh-huh.
and he's racing in reality what is a stock motorbike, right? Let's call it $1,000. He's racing. So let's say what's his name? Cam weighs, I don't know, 190 pounds,
Mm-hmm.
right? And he's racing a very well set up stock motorbike with a 120, 130 pound rider on it. Half mile race for $1,000. Let me tell you something. I feel like that bike is going to give any forced induction bike a run for his money on a half mile race if it's dialed in for that specific place. So
Hmm.
he was talking a lot about how, you know, his mind, from what I heard on the podcast when I wasn't on it, was very much based off forced induction, forced induction. There's no way a stock motorbike is gonna beat forced induction. Listen, half mile is not very long, bro. So if your shit is not up to par, a fucking stock motorbike will get up in that ass.
I think it's
All
possible.
It's possible
It's
if
possible.
if the stars all align. You get what I'm saying?
Right. But
And I think that's where he got a lot of shit fucked up. He doesn't think certain things are possible from what I got from the podcast when you were on it. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like there's a lot of stock motorbikes that are a very specific weight with a specific weight rider, dial the fuck in to the max. that will decimate a lot of built motor bikes, bro, based off of whether it's a half or a 9/10. You think that someone with a stock motor bike is gonna sit there and just blow $1,000 if they don't feel like it's possible?
You got some guys that's
Dummies.
so I believe that maybe they're confident, overconfident, or they're fucking lying. Because you got a lot of people who say stock motor and they're lying. Yeah,
So
whatever.
even at that case, right? Let's say they lie and they got head cam bike. You're still underpowered facing a forced induction bike. So either way, if a forced induction bike is looking at your bike and he's like, and he's willing to waste for $1,000 or better, you should be confident on your forced induction bike in a half-mile race that you're either gonna chase and beat him, or you're just gonna smoke his boots from the hit. You get what I'm saying? So, like, bro, once again, you are not doing your fucking homework if you're losing big money or any money at all. You
I don't
gotta
know. I feel like a stock motored bike, whatever the bike may be, versus since we're talking about H2s at the moment, bro, you know what type of quote unquote stock motored bike it would take to beat a fucking well set up 300 plus horsepower H2?
Well,
I mean, for me, like that's for me,
no, facts,
bro.
facts.
Like,
yo,
I don't
facts,
see it.
But let me tell you something.
I don't see it.
And
unless you got
I
a
can see
baby
it.
riding a stupid, like.
So
I mean,
let me tell
it's
you
possible,
something.
but I
Where's
don't see
Super?
it.
I'm sure Super's still
I
in
don't
here.
see it.
So Super. So let me ask you this question, Super. Okay. And forget a stock motorbike, right? Because at this point, you know whether the guy is gonna tell you what he has or not, right? He says to you, Soup, right? Hey, I'm on MR12 race fuel. I'm a light bike. I'm gonna ride the bike myself. I'm 140 fucking pounds, let's say, right? I want you to ride your bike. I'm gonna race you for $5,000. How you doing, Evan?
What's
I
up,
don't know.
BJ?
Like,
What's up, Evan?
double back if you haven't listened to the rest of the pod. Double back because I want all your insight. But right. So let's say, hey, you know, I want to race you. I'm on fuel, so on and so forth. Half mile, okay, for $5,000. Would you take that race? Is half mile something you would do, right? Because you could spin, right? Because you got the power. Half mile, 9/10 is the difference, right? So if he says half mile for $5,000, would you take that kind of race? Because that's dangerous for you. Because spinning ain't winning, right? How would that work for you? It's a question, bro.
And you talking to Super, right? You talking about
Super H2.
Bro. So anybody, have you ever ridden an H2 before?
I have not.
You haven't ridden one yet. Bro,
I know a supercharged power is different from a turbo.
Man, that bike it's
I know that there's a difference in power, right?
Bro,
it's not like a turbo. There's no lag.
Man, and that's what I'm saying. For a stock motored bike to compete with an H2 of real caliber, not the bullshit you see on
300
the average.
Plus.
Yeah, like not the nonsense that we normally see getting beat up by.
So yes,
bullshit bikes.
It's racing. Anything can happen. I feel like.
Yeah.
Okay. So all right.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Because let's say it was the bike savage, right? And he got his bike dialed in at 300 pounds. That's gonna give Super H2 a fucking. I mean, given his bike was not stock, right? But you know, any bike that, let's say, another bike at 300 pounds, a stock motor bike on a half mile is gonna give Super H2 a run for his fucking money, bro.
Right. Oh.
You know. Now, hey, Super H2 could be spinning and moving right at the same time, right? because there's a lot of guys that can spin and they're still moving as they're spinning. It's ugly out here.
Yeah, so you see what Boosted said. So I know for me, whenever I'm out making just riding my H2 around, even at my size, the average
Okay.
stock bike, even full bolt on, bro, like with lighter riders, like it's not a thing.
It's not a comparison.
It's
Now listen,
nowhere near a comparison. But my H2 is
see,
stock
I feel
motor,
like
but it's not,
270 boosted 14. I feel like 270. Hey man, listen, 270 is a dangerous. I think that's a dangerous number for any all motor bike to have to race against, right? Because 270 and anything over 300 is a big difference when it comes to
bro,
setting up your bike. At least I
bro.
feel like this is not.
So
I'm going off of how I feel I would have to go if I had an H2. And
man,
hey, Reap, you would be able to tell me, right? 270
yeah,
versus 300 plus. You
it's
have to
a
set your bike up differently.
yeah, of course. Yeah,
Okay,
you
so
know, but
270. I don't. If I had an H2, I'd be racing a lot of motherfuckers, man. If I had that shit dialed in, whether it's pavement or concrete, because I feel like
well,
270 is a dangerous number.
so the problem is though, the average H2, right? Like it's not because you're damned if you do, damned if you don't. Most people don't want to race your fucking H2 because they know it's supercharged. They don't want to race it. And then the guys that you beat, well, you should have won because you're supercharged. You know what I mean? So it's like
Uh,
it's just
that's a
that you fall into that category, bro, where like you're not really racing anybody. And realistically, a stock motored bike cartel, and to me,
yeah.
I'm just saying, like, I haven't run into one stock bike that made any sense against an H2. But
Gotcha.
we're talking
Okay.
stage three,
Set, set
and a
up like
intercooler head, like, bruh. There's some bikes out there, bruh. I thought my H2 was fast, bruh. No, it ain't that fast.
Evan. That's a really solid point. He brought up the fucking 0304 Cobra. Yeah, that bike. Listen, I had a very close friend of mine that had one of those, and that fucking thing was disgusting. So
Yeah,
I completely understand what you're saying. Great fucking analogy there, bro. That
yeah,
yeah,
man.
that fucking that year Cobra was fucking ridiculous, bro.
So
That's the Terminator year, actually, right? The 04, that
oh
03,
03,
'04
that's the
Cobra was the
Mustang Dave
Terminator
is
year.
saying. It's a '03 Terminator. I know
It is,
nothing
right?
about cars, so I don't know. I know what a Cobra Mustang is. What the hell is an LS?
That's another motor that came in a. Oh my god, I forgot the name. Uh, fuck, man, I forgot.
Yeah, I don't.
I'm not an American guy, but that Cobra, I was very well. I learned a lot because one of my good friends had one, and
Oh, Corvette and
that shit is no
Camaro.
joke, bro.
Oh, okay.
Yes,
It's a
the Terminator.
Chevy.
Yes,
Okay,
the Terminator. Yeah, like I said earlier, Evan. Yeah, that Terminator shit, bro. Yo, Reed, let me tell you.
bro, I got a Camaro and don't know the name of none of this stuff.
Listen,
Coyote
I
Motors
had
and all of this stuff. I don't know nothing about cars.
no,
Nothing.
yeah. That the Terminator, man. Listen, that's on my bucket list of fucking cars to have because that Terminator is no fucking joke, bro. That was an amazing year for those fucking Mustangs, bro.
Okay.
Anyway, yeah.
So getting back, so okay, and yeah, and like Kenneth, yeah, man, I don't know shit about cars, but yeah, maybe one day I'll build a car or something.
Yeah,
Maybe I'll
so
get,
Reaper doesn't come from a background of cars, Evan. I come from a background of like Hondas and fucking Supras and you know what I'm saying.
mhm.
I've had some shit, but Reaper came from he went straight into bikes, full on.
Cars suck.
Yeah, yo,
Hey,
yeah. Let me tell you,
so
all day long, man. I'd rather spend my money on fucking bikes than cars. Never again, bro. Never again.
so I guess for the chat, um, if you were to change anything, right? Because I actually sat down, Cartel wasn't available, but I sat with Cameron. What would be more advantageous for me to be able to? Because what questions would you ask Cam? You know what I mean? What questions do you think it was a good idea to try to put Two Wheel on while Cam was on, even though that kind of made things go south? What do you guys think?
Honestly, I think that, I mean, and whatever, right? Like, I'm not part of the chat. How old are you, Evan? Because you fucking look young, bro. You can't be that. You can't be that old, bro. I
I
feel
think
like you're
he,
probably the best of 35,
I think
36.
he's in his 30s or something like that.
Yeah, he's in his 30s, but he's like 30. You gotta be like 30. I hope you're not younger than 35, 36, because then I'm gonna feel like a dickhead. Ah, see, I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. All right.
Hey,
So,
Booster said he can't be our age. Hey, he's only like
see, so
four
I'm right.
years. He's only a
All
couple
right.
of
So you're
4 or
right
5
around that
years
age.
off it. So like that's not bad. I remember when I was in my 30s, man. But
Yeah,
and it's funny
Reaper's
because
old, bro. I'm 39. I'm still holding on to that
nah,
fucking. I'm in my 30s still. I'm holding on to that. I'm holding on to
um,
that.
but again, and anybody who might be on the Cameron side of things, friends, families, associate, if y'all feel that I did something incorrect by putting Two Wheel on intentionally, sorry, that wasn't the intent. The intent was um, for Two Wheel to be able to defend himself, as we discussed at the earlier in this stream. Um, and I mean, the same thing goes for Two Wheel. If Two Wheel was on and Cam was in the chat, it'd be the same thing. I wouldn't do anything different personally, but I appreciate that Mustang because, like, I don't know, man. It was a lot of people, you know what I'm saying, like trying to make me feel as if I made the wrong decision, and I'm just like, I don't know. I come from a place where man to man, like you deal with it. So I don't know.
Um, in the conversation I had with Evan, man, like, you know what I mean. Oh, actually, that's what I was gonna ask you, Evan. Right? Like,
Hmm.
how do you feel about if you have a disagreement with someone, bring what either it's you or someone that you bring on your
I
podcast, right?
appreciate that.
They have a
Thank
disagreement
you.
with somebody. Would you be open to bringing both parties on your podcast to be able to settle their differences? You know what I'm saying?
I think so. I talked to Cameron about Evan. He says that for the most part, they worked out whatever the differences were that they had. They just agree to disagree, and like Super, like they can somewhat be cordial, but they don't necessarily like each other.
That's fine, bro. You don't have to, you're not gonna like everybody that you fucking come across in your life, bro.
Right.
See, and that
Ironically,
so
is
so that's meant. So to me, it's kind of like, yo,
well, it's funny because in all honesty, it's actually because of Evan that Cameron was actually put on the show because Evan had as I said, as I alluded to earlier in the stream, he had several direct and indirect times where he mentioned Cameron and their issues and all of this other stuff. So I was like, all right, well, hell, he needed to defend himself, but he can't. He wasn't able to get on Evan's podcast, so I gave him a platform to do so. And Motor Rich, I disagree with that because it's not like I gave him a platform to name call. I gave him a platform so he can express his opinions based upon the masses. See, don't sit there. See, I see what Motor Rich is doing. That's what everybody does. I see what you're trying to do. No, that's not the case.
see, but look at Cam apologized to him in person, which I feel like that's he apologized, bro, which I feel like is a big thing. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
So
he's not like Evan Super, like he named someone else too. Like he's not opposed to like agreeing to disagree, that sort of thing. Like, but Two Will, I don't know what the fuck Two Will did to him, but like he just
And here we are.
he just
I could
refuses.
actually
Like
hear
he's
you
just not
saying
going to
that,
do it.
Evan.
He said he respects, and I know y'all don't see this side because I talked to him on the phone, but he respects Super as well. You know, so he respects a lot of people that probably dislikes him.
So he should have asked. So all right,
But
right.
Two
So
Will is not
you
one of
have
them. He hates Two
so
Will.
so
I don't know
clearly he
why.
is a different person outside of a podcast or live or whatever. You know him in a different manner, right? He needs to
Um,
act accordingly when he's
yeah.
on camera. You know what I'm saying? You also mentioned someone else to me, that is a completely different fucking person compared to when he's live. And hey, listen, if you want to be that, then fucking be that, but you don't
Mhm.
have to sit there and completely be a dickhead and disrespectful to people. You know what
Man,
I'm saying?
look, I'll tell you, man. Like for the most part, um, I don't. Well, okay, let me not say that. So it's rare that you have when someone pulls a camera out that they're not different. The one thing I can say though, for the most part, most of the platform, like the cats in the chat, I think are the same as if I met them on Facebook or in person. And for me, I'm the same fucking person all the time, 100%. Now, let's a spade is a spade. We'll say right now that Cameron is not the same person because I spoke to him and he had a different thought processes or whatever, whatnot, like I'm telling you. But what about those like 650 Eve? 650 Eve is two different people all the time. We all know this, but nobody ever calls a spade a spade. But why is it okay for 650 to do it? But now this individual is doing it, and now the masses are like, oh, you know what I mean? Like that's but 650 also it might be more. I'm not saying he's stupid, but 650 also is an intelligent individual. Not saying Cameron isn't. It's just they might come from different backgrounds. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, well, I mean,
Yeah. So I was gonna say that, Evan.
well, no. So
650. He
650, no, I'm not gonna allow that. So no, 650 is totally his platform is as such is not like this, right? And so if he had an issue with someone and knew someone had an issue with him, there is no way in hell he's gonna put him on. Hell, you didn't even put Cameron on your show, even though you alluded to him several times. No, no. We don't do that. Cameron has a problem and he says dickhead and pieces of shit and all of this other stuff. Yes. But we're not going to sit here and target him because if I had a problem with somebody, I'm telling you, I would probably say the same thing. Probably not that specifically, but still along those same lines, I would say the same thing. So you all have gotten upset and have
But
used choice
yeah.
words
So
with people.
but you
You
could
know what I
say,
mean?
but you don't have to. So this is the thing, Reap. Like, it's all on his fucking delivery, bro. He doesn't have to deliver it in that way, bro, because it's a completely different animal. So even though 650 Eve is a completely different platform, and he's not on this platform where he's
Mm-hmm.
having these kind of conversations,
Mm-hmm.
he's not gonna sit there and straight disrespect somebody like that. It's the
Well,
way Cam comes off, the way he says things, and his delivery. If he can't deliver things a specific way, or if he
right,
can't intellectually talk to someone and
right.
agree to disagree with them respectfully,
Uh-huh.
that man should not be on.
I again. So check it out, man. How many? And I'm not. This is just little tiny podcast guy. You know what I mean? But how many podcasts are out there where? And it escapes me because I don't watch many podcasts outside of anything motorcycle related. But I don't know. But there are podcasts out there where someone uses choice words just like that, right? Especially boxers, fighters, whatever the hell. He just may not be able to express himself intellectually. But who
He could still be respectful.
but if that's the way that he talks, not saying it's right, but if that's the way that he talks, like that's the way that he talks. You know what I'm saying?
You can still be respectful, bro. That's like my son is 15, bro. And if I fucking put him on this podcast and it's someone that maybe had bullied him or he hates or whatever, and I tell him, hey, listen, you can talk to him, but don't sit here and cuss at him or whatever the case may be. He's gonna be able to be able to talk to someone in a way where, in a manner where he doesn't have to sit there and swear and disrespect them as a fucking 15-year-old. You know what I'm saying? That's my only thing. You don't have to read the fucking almanac, or you don't have to read a dictionary, or you don't have to fucking have this great vocabulary to be able to respect another human being, especially another man.
Right. But then, you know, I'm gonna play devil's advocate here. So if him and Artie, for whatever reason, has some type of history that's negative, I don't expect him to get on, just like Mustang Dame. For whatever reason, he dislikes Mustang Dame. It's like Two Will. I don't know what happened, but that's the way that, you know, that's what he said to me. So it's like, when you look at them in comments and stuff, and they go back and forth, some of the stuff that he says is very, very, very and one is one that I even thought, I was like, I checked him on it offline, like, hey, bro, like, chill out on the family stuff. But at the same time, and I'm not trying to make him a comparison between him and 650. Like, I'm not trying to do that. All I'm saying is, if that's the way that he expresses himself, right? And for whatever reason, he can't express himself intellectually, like Beater Booster just did. What did Beater Booster just said? Oh, he has the IQ of a 12-year-old, basically. Well, that's not very nice. But it's not. It's not very nice. So
but you know what?
Beater Booster said that to me. I tell him, so what if I'm like, yo, well, Beater Booster, I don't know who you are, but kiss my ass, suck my, you know what I'm saying? Like, who the fuck are you? Oh, are you gonna you gonna target me? You know what? And I'm pretty certain I have a vocabulary. I'm just saying.
You say that. Hold on here. So
I'm just saying.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. I can't see you.
My whole shit froze, bro.
Yeah. Like it did it earlier too.
Oh, fuck me.
Okay, Beater Booster. Yeah. Okay. Or a 12-year-old bully. But anyways, Beater Booster. So that's what I'm saying. Like, I understand what everybody's saying, and I was trying to do a good thing. I really, really was. But I just want everybody to know there's a reason why I did it. And I don't really want a lot of backlash in between, you know, just for that. Evan, you know what? And I saw that. You know what I mean? But I think in my humble opinion, like, even though you guys became somewhat cool, or you guys, yeah, I can hear you. Okay. Or you guys could be able to have somewhat of a cordial conversation, he still technically was never on the cast. You see what I mean? And so that, for me, just like any other person, like, a lot of people are like, oh man, you know, why don't you invite all of these high speed, like all these YouTube greats? And it's like, no, you know, like that'll be nice, but like, I would like, you know, people that's unheard of to be on the stream. You know what I mean? And we got a lot of people. I just chose not to put them on as of yet, you know, but. Hey, I feel you on that, though. Hey, he got a point, but that sounds like something Super would say too. Like, and so, you know, it's funny, man. I was talking to Cam about his 14, man, and and his H2, and I told him, I said, you know, if you use your H2 and you want to raise Super H2, bruh, that might be, hey, that's rough. And if you want to use your 14 and I said it a little bit in the cast last night, if you want to race, you know, EJR, one of those boosters, like, hey, bro, like, those are tall orders. I don't know the bikes because you know what I mean? I can look at the bikes and I can tell. So That's on
I
him
don't.
though.
No, yeah, exactly. So once again, right, like just because you might have, so like for example, right, like what Evan said, like he has. So it may be in Cam's mind, Cam Evan is someone he wants to race here, right? But just because on Cam's mind, Evan is someone that he wants to race, right, and he's putting that out there in existence. That
Mm-hmm.
doesn't mean that Evan is at his house like, yeah, yeah, Cam is someone I want to race. So because Cam could be here looking for Evan, and Evan is over here looking for whoever the fuck he's looking to race.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And
Right.
he's not even really thinking. So when Cam is over here, whatever, and this is beforehand, right? Like he's whatever he said because he Cam apologized or whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, he's now in this place where, all right, well, I'm here, I'm on pump gas. You know damn well, like, who the fuck, if you're not racing Evan's green bike, I'm sure his other bikes are not on. He's not going to race anybody on fucking pump, or maybe he will. Actually, no, because I think all your bikes are on pump gas, right, Evan? Besides, I don't know if your Busa is,
Man,
or maybe it
look,
has two maps. I
man,
don't know.
look. I know when I spoke to him, I said, well, and I think I brought it up in the castle yesterday, and I told him, I said, man, look, because he was talking about Mustang Dame too, and I'm just like, bro, like I feel like
Pumpkin.
His fucking bike is probably faster than, you know what I'm saying, than theirs. You know what I mean? So it's and Super says like nobody owes Cam a race, and that's true. Like nobody owes anybody a race. I just think that hopefully with the conversation that we had a little bit earlier, like he can he'll he'll make strides to be able to
Yeah.
um you know
Build
yeah
and be a little bit wiser
yeah
on further
express himself
podcasts
in a
and
way
yeah,
that is not so aggressive,
yeah, I
hopefully.
agree.
As far as Two Wheel is concerned, I know Two Wheel has skeletons as well, but he
He did do well on our cast, on our platform. He respected, you know what I'm saying? He wasn't disrespectful on
I
our platform.
what is he? Oh, the 14 used to be much faster. So
Okay, shoot, Evan, what you got for us? I
I
gotta take
wonder
a
though, if really was C3. What's crazy is that he had the tune changed after he got it. What? Now I know Chris and STPI probably double team that bike, so I assume that why would it be? I don't know. Why would it be slower? I'm not certain. Hmm.
What's your question, Evan? I'm gonna take a piss. I'll be right back. Reap.
Oh, I got it. Okay. But Charlotte in May. What is going on in May? Hey, you know what, Evan? Um, I don't understand. Okay, so he said he's not impressed with what you do, but then he accuses you of lying about. I think it's somewhat of a contradiction. I do know though, like it seems like no matter what the bike, he does act as if everything has some form of motor work. It's like everybody's lying. I do know that. Um, I don't know why he wouldn't be impressed, but maybe he thinks his 14 is faster. I don't know. I really honestly, Evan, I really don't know how to answer that because I'm not him. But that is somewhat of a contradiction. You can't say that you're not impressed with somebody's shit, but then turn around and say, "Hey, but I think you're built, even though you stock motor." Well, I, you know what I mean? Like that doesn't make sense. But okay, yeah, that doesn't make sense. But okay. Yeah, C3. So I'm tracking that he did change, or he lightened it more, because he talked about that before we went live. As far as the
That's
tune, I heard that the tune wasn't given with the bike. He bought the bike, but he didn't buy whatever the
the
tune
tune.
was.
Yeah, that's why he was disappointed with that bike. But no, Evan, I would think that's a contradiction. Yes. Yeah, I would because yeah, I mean, I'll be honest with you, bro. I heard that bike wasn't stock either. You know what I'm saying? Once again, right? Like that's hearsay.
He's not.
I think that referring back to for the past conversation, you could set up a bike to the point where it's just set up fucking immaculately, and you will spank up a lot of head cam bikes and so on and so forth.
Yeah, but okay, devil's advocate here again, though. At the same time, perhaps because he did say that maybe he feels like certain individuals pick and choose their races as well. So
Well, everybody picks.
I
So
know, but where I'm going with it is, if someone has a stock motor bike and they're racing lesser bikes, then of course the stock motor bike is going to look like it's leaps and bounds above whatever. When in actuality, it's just this bike over here is trash. You know what I mean? Now TBN, the bitch ninja, is not trash. I'm just saying. In his eyes, that's what he's looking at.
Mm, mm. I think he has a hard time. I think that kid has a hard time just, if you buy bikes that are built, right? Or whatever the case is on his part, because I don't know anything about him, right? So let's say,
No, Moto Rich. See, I see what you're trying to do there. And I don't know, what is that supposed to be? A rhetorical question? No. A
so let
lesser
me
than a
ask you,
stock motor
Reap,
bike,
let me
yes,
ask you
meaning
this.
setup and all of that. Yeah, go ahead. Uh-huh.
Let me ask you a question.
Uh-huh.
Is his H2 and I mean you answer this how you want to. Is his H2 stock?
It depends on what your definition is stock.
Motor work, motor, anything. Has it ever been opened up?
Well, yeah, but
Okay,
it's
so it's been
not,
opened up.
I don't think it's real. Okay. So so what is motor work?
And
My
you opened
my
up the
my
motor. Yeah, the head
my
the head gasket is not the head gasket is not the original head
hey,
gasket, and you put parts that is not original to the bike.
okay, is motor work dropping cams? I
Yes.
mean, the valve
Yes.
cover came off, change the
Yep.
cams, but is that
Yep.
my idea of motor work has nothing to, I mean, yeah, you got some dropping cams.
I
My
mean, what the
idea,
fuck, Reap?
I'm just,
Yeah. Come on.
I'm just,
I know what you're
okay.
doing. So dropping cams, yes. So
Okay,
it's not
okay,
stock, right?
okay, he's not stock. Fine, he's not stock. No, he's not.
Okay. Is this
Yeah.
booster stock?
No, he doesn't have a boost. He has the 14.
Ah, yes, the 14. Sorry.
Is that stock?
Yeah.
No, I don't think that's stock by any means. Now, as
All
far
right.
as its
So
displacement, I'm assuming it's a 1441, I think.
all right. So
Um,
with either one of those fucking bikes, bro. Okay. None of them bikes are stock. Why are you worried about anybody else's shit, bro? You should be
Moto
going
Rich
into a
said,
race being very comfortable about what you have. But when you buy something, right, and you're not confident
see,
on
he
what you
agreed with
have,
me. All right.
brings you to the point where he is at, where he's angry because he's probably losing to lesser bikes because your bike is not what it should be, or maybe your bike is not up to par, bro, or
I
maybe you don't have the knowledge to set up your bike the right way. Maybe you should go, or you should build friendships with people, or whatever the fuck the case may be, that will give you the knowledge to set up your fucking bike the right way, bro. Like
I I think that
from a lot of the conversation from last night, Reap, it just seemed like a lot of his gripes with people is
uh-huh.
because he felt like he was put in a situation where he was put under the eight ball.
Hmm.
No, it's not. You're not put under the fucking eight ball, bro. Like you did not put enough effort into your own fucking bike to be comfortable.
Well, hold on,
Get
hold
rid
on.
of.
Hold on. I got to stop you there because okay. So the first thing is he can't. Okay, I don't know how much he puts into his bike because I don't know. I don't know if he works on his own bike outside of some of the lightweight stuff he told me he put on the 14. Right. So that's the first thing. But the reality is, when you said something key, you said friends, right? Well, if most of the community dislikes you, I don't know how much assistance you're going to get to become faster. Because in this game that we in, like, you need friends, you need associates, you need people, like you need them.
I don't disagree with you there.
You
But if you
know,
don't have friends, one thing that's for fucking sure. Let's say, right, I've learned a lot in a small span of time, right? And I've built friendships with people, very much so. But if I didn't, right, let's say I didn't want to fucking talk to anybody, right? And I reached out to someone like Evan, right? In conversation with Evan, I should be fucking learning something. You know what I'm saying? And Evan is going to explain to me, hey, I did such and such to such and such for this reason.
bro.
And if you're gonna and you should be listening and taking that knowledge in. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
Little by little. So at some point in time, unless you just want to fucking, hey, I got $100,000, let's say. I want to be able to beat everybody, and I have a jockey, and whatever the fuck the case may be, bro. You should be learning something. The way he was talking was of someone that just bought fucking bikes and did not fucking like want to do anything but spank people up, bro. It's not
Bro,
reality.
I okay, so I do like I okay, so I totally agree with you on that. Um the well, yeah, so Envy just said it. So like some are in it, obviously it's not a hobby, but it's an actual job. You know what I mean? Um so
Peanut butter Girl Scout cookies are amazing.
man, I need more, bro. Okay.
Moto Rich, are you Filipino or a oh no Tagalog, not Tagalog. Sorry, I
Hmm.
I retract my prior statement.
Hmm. Okay. Hold on. Okay. Damn, I forgot what I was about to say. I was about to say something. Just what was I about? What were we talking about, bro? We were talking about
I don't know. I
cookies. Them
started
cookies
eating
is
my
good,
cookie. I
bro.
lost track, bro.
Yeah, man, them cookies good, bro. Um, oh, he says Motor Rich says he's super white. Okay, so um, Mustang. Okay, so okay, I know what's going on with Cam's 14 somewhat, unless he made some changes internally, and it's a very 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 nice bike, stout bike build. So
Okay.
um, can he get the 14 down to a booster's weight? Who knows? But as far as Dame is talking about, yeah. So that based upon what I just saw, yeah, it looks to be like he could be extremely competitive versus other 14s and boosters alike. The issue is, I think what Cam lacks probably is assistance. I know he has a tuner, but I don't understand why he didn't have whatever happened with the bike. Why did the bike slow down? I don't understand that. Why did the bike slow down? Why is that? Cartel, like, why did it slow down?
Uh,
Mm.
I mean, that's what do you mean? The H2, the
No,
14.
the 14. I'm under the impression he was talking about how it was he had to change the tune, or the tune wasn't given with the bike, or we alluded to that earlier. So like, why is that? Why did
Well, if you don't, first of all, right? Like if
I
you
don't
pay for the
understand.
bike, if you don't, for me personally, right? Like, and who knows, right? Because I wasn't there for the deal. But if you buy a bike and be like, oh, yo, it's fully built,
All
oh,
right.
it's fully built, right? It's fully built. It's got this, this, and this. Okay,
Oh
cool. Here's
shoot,
your money. That doesn't mean that the tune is gonna come with it.
bruh. It didn't
It
slow
could be
down. Others are just
it could
faster,
be a
huh?
multitude. When you build a bike of that caliber, right? Like it could be a
Hmm.
multitude of tunes.
Oh, that's what I was gonna say. So, like, okay, so if you don't have friends for whatever reason in the game, I think Evan used to say something along these lines too. Like, you get on IG, you see all of these bike pictures, and if you have no idea on how to make a bike fast, what you do is you look at those bikes on IG and then you try to emulate those.
Yeah,
But the problem is there's always those details that you can't see on a picture. Like you just,
exactly. A lot of
you
them.
know,
A lot
and
of
you can
these.
tell because everybody has the same canvas. Like everything's the same. Like you
Yeah.
said about the Jixers, everything's always the same. I
No.
think
Yeah, no,
I
you're absolutely correct. But at the end of the day, bro, like everybody can have the same canvas, but that's what the difference lies, is in the shit that you don't see,
I don't
right?
know. I wish that you guys, for the most part, can see like. Well, what about this? Let's talk about this. Who is willing to put their differences down and just race?
Yeah, well, I
You
mean,
know what I mean? Like
we
outside
would
of
need
whatever,
we
like
we we
just
would need
race.
we would need I mean, you know, who is who is Cam willing to race, right? Without being like, listen, man, at the end of the day, bro, if we sit here and lined up 3 or 4 H2s, right, for Cam.
Without any, okay, so
So, right,
Evan,
we put 3 or 4
Mustang, suit.
H2s
Oh
on the
wow,
list for him, right, that are willing to race
yeah.
him for free, right, for free.
Uh huh.
Like, all right, so this is a question for Cam. He's not on here, so you can ask him when you talk to him on
No,
by
he was
yourself.
on here earlier. You walked off, but he's on here. I think
Okay,
he was
so
on here earlier.
my question to you, Cam, right, if you're on here, is I line up, right, and I set up races for you, right, in North Carolina on concrete at the bridge, half mile.
But he said that that bridge is not half mile.
It's a little bit more, okay? So
Mhm.
9/10, whatever, okay? So let's call it 9/10. 9/10 race for you, okay? 3 H2s, just however they come is how they come. Are you willing to do that? And you come how you come, set up. There, it doesn't matter fuel, nothing. They show up, they have whoever they race on the bike, you race whoever you race on your bike, whether it's you, your boys, whatever. Are you willing to do that? At this point, more than a half.
Oh,
Listen, Google
I'm
is
gonna
an
shoot him.
amazing
Let
tool,
me
bro.
shoot him a message and see
And
because
at the end of the day, that's that simple, right? So I set up 3 races with 3 H2s. Doesn't matter what they are, what they have. Doesn't matter what you have, what fuel you're racing. Nothing in your in fucking North Carolina, wherever the Carolinas, wherever you're at, right on that fucking bridge. 9/10, right? Because the bridge is a little bit more than that, or whatever the case may be. Are you
I
okay
thought.
with that?
Now I thought that. So I think Super brought up yesterday if they were gonna like pick another location because I know Super is always at his bike's always being raced in Florida,
Mm-hmm.
and I want to say Cam said he's always around the Charlotte area at that bridge thing, and Super,
So
And
let's
I don't
let's
think he's
say
gonna
all
race
things
at night or
considered.
some. So
All
what
things
about
considered.
another place, another centrally located place? Like where is that?
But you know what, Super? If you did race him for free, right? In his turf, what else is there to do? What else is there to say?
Yeah, you got a point.
There's
You got a
nothing else
point.
to be said, Super. You know what I'm saying? If it matters that much. If it doesn't matter to you that much, then listen, log off right now. And you like, you know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying that like in a fucking dickhead way. Like, who is Cam to you if he doesn't mean that much? If you wanna prove a
Mm.
point,
So that's only
go to
plunging
his
into longer.
hometown,
Hmm.
spank him in his hometown, and go about your business. You know what I'm saying?
And I don't think it necessarily has to be at a like an actual event. It could, as we discussed, like it could be because that's another thing too. Like these events, I really feel as if like if I wanted to race Super or Envied or Dame or shit Evan, like if we're all at an event, like it makes sense. But fuck that. I can make a special trip and just go and race and have a good time without all of the nonsense.
Listen, right? Perfect example right now. Super H2 said yesterday that he's gonna be in Georgia. Correct, Super? You're gonna be in Georgia. That's pavement. Whatever. Why not bring Cam over to Georgia? Yep, see? So you're gonna be in Georgia. Cam, come to Georgia. Done deal. Half mile, 9/10. I'm sure we could figure that shit out.
I'm not
And
even certain he's still on there.
if he's not, send him this part, bro. Super's
Hmm.
gonna be there. End of story. Very simple. Two fucking guys in a location that they're not. That it's a fucking straight road, bro. It's in the middle
You
of
know
fucking
what?
nowhere.
So Cam actually, he's asking to get on to clear some things up.
I'm not. I that this
Uh,
is no. We're not doing that today here. Cam said enough yesterday, right? The way he said to you that he didn't appreciate how you brought two wheel on.
mm-hmm.
We're not bringing him on today, so he cannot appreciate this right now. You understand me? And
Okay.
you could put that on me because he didn't respect what I said to him earlier yesterday, right? He did it.
Oh,
So
he's on there. Yeah, you can put it in the chat too. But
there you go, Cam. It's a fucking further ride from Super H2 to come to Georgia. So why don't you come to Georgia? And there you go. Half mile, 9/10. Get it done and be done with it. It's very simple. I think so. It's very simple.
so I mean, when is this Georgia thing? Like you saying in May or
What is it? March? We're March, April 26th. It's the last weekend, I believe, of April. Let's get it done. I'm gonna be there, and
what's
I'm
my
gonna
son
threaten Reaper
April?
to fucking be there too. All right. My
Oh, you
brown
talking
ass is
about?
coming from fucking Boston. It's cold out here. I don't want to hear from nobody.
Well, I'm planning to be there. Um,
You better be there, Reap.
I'm pretty certain I won't have anything that makes any sense, but we'll see.
Five bites in the hit, Reap.
Nah, I want 10 bikes in the fucking hit and to the eighth mile, bro.
Hey, listen.
To the eighth mile, bro. Like that's what I want. But I know the average person ain't gonna give it to me though, but it's all good. Man, I'll tell you, man.
Hey, Stupa, bring the H2, but bring that K67 too. Because I want some of that K67, boy. You know what I'm saying? And if you beat me, I'll bring in my homework from when you used to be a teacher back in 1984. You know what I'm saying?
He
Because
used
you're
to
that
be a
old out here,
teacher. I
G.
don't think he's a teacher. Well, I don't know. A biker community cookout. So, um, I think that's. I think they both have like. What the hell? Why is it doing that? So I think they have each other's numbers and stuff. So like it's all good. I guess if they're serious about it, if he's on here and he wants to race whomever, then he can reach out to
Hey,
them. They can reach out to him. Like it's all good, you know. I just know I need my lick back, man. I don't appreciate what Damon did, so um, I'm gonna have to figure it out.
hey, listen, I could fucking jockey your bike.
Nah,
You know
bro,
what
I need the self gratification. You know what I mean?
I'm
I want to stand on the mountaintop and somehow beat this
saying?
guy, bro. That's I don't like the way he did me, so it's all good. I got to figure it out because the way he did it was just rude. So
It was foul.
it was pretty rude. It was pretty rude. And he didn't. I don't think he did it on purpose. There was no malicious intent. He just he
Yo,
let me
super.
take off with an Amtrak in front of him, and then he went around me, and that's not cool. So I got some for it though. I'll get him
Yo,
back.
super. So I so the joke is right. I don't know. I don't know if Reed told you. So I told him I was like, yo, there's no way that that's the owner of that H2. He looks like he
Yeah,
was my fucking math teacher or my history teacher when I was in fucking high school out here in these streets.
hating,
So
bro.
now, right, I'm putting fuel in the fire. Bring the K67. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna have to beat my fucking school teacher, my high school teacher, over in Georgia.
Mm.
So pull up. I'm gonna be there. Be there, be square, right? That's what they used to say back in the day.
Hey, Kenneth, bro. Hey, I actually saw that. I saw that race. I think it was on what was it Jack B. Quick's fitted? Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I saw that. Yep. It's not fair, but that's okay. I'm begging Jeremy to put a jet engine in my H2, so we'll see. You know damn well. And now Super gonna get on here and be like, "You lying?" Because he knows I don't touch that bike.
Yo,
I don't
Soup,
touch my H2 for
I've been
nothing.
saying it, man. Bring yo the
I hate H2s. They're
K67.
not reliable. I don't care what nobody says.
Bring that K67 to Georgia, brother. Bring it.
Well, at any rate, I really appreciate everybody like tuning in and
Yes, sir, man. You know, we kind of did this for y'all, just kind of like as clarity. You know what I'm saying?
uh-oh.
We took all the comments and the personal phone calls and the DMs. Uh,
Oh, that's what he got to say.
oh
See,
yeah. So
see,
bring that on
see,
over. Bring that on over.
see how he does.
You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And hey, listen, there's no restaurant in Fargo that I like, but since your bike is in Florida, we can figure out whoever wins owes each other a dinner. You know what I'm saying? So you tell me what you like, and believe me, we'll figure it out.
You know
I will
what,
fly out to collect that dinner, boy. You know
bro?
what I'm saying?
I'm racing everybody in the chat in 2030.
In 2030, because that's when Reaper's bikes are all gonna be done. You know what I'm saying? By 2030, I am definitely gonna
Yeah.
be on a yacht of some sort. You know what I'm saying? Yo, Super, me and you both are gonna be on a fucking yacht talking shit. Reaper's gonna be doing burnouts, you know what I'm saying? Trying to
Yo,
figure out what tire he's gonna race himself on.
man, I tell you, bro, like we got some talented cats in the chat, man. So,
Yeah.
um,
But yo,
Evan,
I
Kenneth,
appreciate all y'all to come in, man. I hope you guys are
um,
having a good weekend.
hey, Kenneth, I owe you a call too. You know, I do owe you a call. So, um, yeah, I gotta give him a call. That was the dude that I was talking about at the beginning.
Evan, thank you for tuning in, bro, today. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate your insight on everything. You know what I'm saying? And hopefully I fucking get to see you because when I met you in Miami, it was very brief. You know what I'm saying? It was a very brief interaction with you.
Yeah, well, look, I'm telling the whole chat, you either line up next to me or I'm gonna fight you.
Listen, you guys better figure that out if you're gonna step to fucking Reaper, because Reaper's got no neck. He's got the Mike Tyson neck.
Oh
You know what I'm
man.
saying? I'm just saying, he ain't got no neck out here. I'm
Oh,
just
get out of
saying.
here, bro. Get out of here, brother. But I appreciate it, man. And I'm usually distracted. Yeah, I could see that. But oh, LaPearl's a little was he here the whole time or he's a little
Nah,
late?
LaPearl, you late, my guy. You know what I'm saying? I still don't
Yeah.
believe you're Puerto Rican, by the way, but Flacco told me. I don't believe it. You don't look like it. But nonetheless, yo, Reap, I'm out of
Yep.
here, bro. You know what I'm
Are
saying?
you?
Yeah, I'm out of here, brother. I appreciate you. You know what I'm
Well,
saying?
stand by because I want to holler at you about something. I'm
Okay.
gonna plot on everybody in chat after we get off. All right, yeah, Kenneth, I'm gonna give you a call, man. Anyway, everybody, thank you for tuning in, and I got my boy tonight, so I'm excited. So we'll holler at y'all later. Thank you for tuning in.
Peace.